And we are green. Evenly start inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Holland.
Drivers around the corners as long as they hit the...
Yes. Off lid.
Alrighty, folks. Well, welcome to Richmond International Raceway. Next round of Tuesday night throwback series for Loose Lugnuts. Sorry, had a little bit of delay on the start, but we have got it going. Get ready to go green. Before we take a look at qualifying in a moment, we're going to take a look at the points as we got them pulled up, and we have a new points leader. Mitchell Reeves going to take over for Scott Patton. That's a 12-point gap coming in tonight at Richmond International Raceway. And as always, back in the booth here tonight with me after her recovery sick last week, Miss Rachel. Rachel, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty. Well, Rachel, how are you feeling first and foremost?
Doing good. Much better now. So
Let's take a look at the starting grid. Row number 1, Mitchell Reeves, Randy Arms. Row number 2 here tonight, Rob Haynes, Scott Patton. Looking at row 3, Jeffrey D. Merck and Michael Jeans. Row number 4, Jack Watts, Judd Danielson. Row number 5, Andrew Schultz, Brandon Thornhill in 10th. Row number 6, Ronald Quine and Wally outside row 6 and 12th. Row number 7, Ray Richard, John Pansola. And row number 8, that's going to be Trent Drum, Rachel, rounding out this. Well, Rachel, we're looking at 135 laps here tonight. What do you expect?
if it's anything like practice went, I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing a few cautions. Some of these guys were getting extremely loose in practice, so we'll have to see. But I'm expecting at least a couple of them.
Yeah, me as well. I kind of expect the same thing. But folks, we're getting ready to go green flag racing, Richmond International tonight. Should it be a lot of fun? The little blinky lights on the pace car are getting ready to go off here. Yes, I called them blinky lights. That's the first time I've called them that in quite a while. We're going to get ready to go. It's going to be Reeves up front. Actually, we got one more lap around. So next time by, Rachel, we'll get this underway. Who's going to be your early pick to bring it home here tonight from what you've seen over the past few weeks?
That's actually a really good question. I would have to say probably Mitchell Reeves. I mean, he's been doing really well, and I mean, just based on practice and qualifying, I mean, he does have the best time so far, so we'll see. Who's your pick?
I've got to go with Mitchell Reeves, Rob Haynes. One of those two on the front row, I think they'll stay up there, they'll get it done, but out of turn number 4, we're going to see the green flag wave. Lap number 1 of 135 on the board. Clean start for everybody involved, Rachel.
Yeah, Definitely, and I mean you've got Randy Arms right on the back bumper of Mitchell Reeves, so I mean, we'll see how long it takes Randy to get around him.
And a former battle back here, back. That's gonna be Jack Watts right there, along with Brandon Thornhill. And okay, this scrolling ticker is not working the way it's supposed to, but anyway, these guys back here battling right along with each other. That is Mr. Brandon Thornhill and Jack Watts right there as well. Hanging on, great battle. Ronald Klein right here in the mix in the number 76 City Financial Machine. Right there in the battle as well.
It looks like Scott Patton was kind of left out by himself on that high side, and he has dropped back quite a few positions because of that, because now he's currently in 6th. He's dropped at least 2 positions already.
Yeah, dropping back right now is Jack Watts at the moment. Jack Watts is dropping back little by little early on. And again, the 135 laps, not a long time here, especially the place like Richmond International Raceway. Everybody fights their way through, and I do apologize about the running order screen. We're going to have to use this one tonight. I understand it cuts out a little bit of your view, but unfortunately our other ticker is not working properly. But right now up in the front, you're going to have the O's who, Mr. Mitchell Reeves trying to hold off one and only Mr. Randy Arms, back to his back bumper. Rachel, you asked the question, how long would it take? Well, it's not taking long, and Randy is on the back bumper. That mellow yellow 02 right now into turn 1.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to take Randy very long to catch up with Mitchell and possibly try to get a good run on him. But as we go through the field, also have to take a look at Jeff Merck. He's actually moved up to the 4th position, so I mean he's trying to get up there to the front.
The man, the myth, the legend, Jeffrey Merck, right now working his way through the field, like you said, into the top 4. It's a great start to the race. Taking a look back here, Scott Patton mired in 7th. Not normal to see Scott Patton this far back, but he is enthralled with a battle with the 08 machine of Michael Jeans. And that battle right here, and that over-the-top designs 08 on the top side. Scott Patton moves to 6th, right behind Jack Watts. There was some guys moving forward, some guys sliding backwards early on in this one, Rachel.
Right, and you also got the number 9 of Andrew Schulte that's right under Gene, so he just went to the inside of him trying to get that pass.
Andrew Schulte, you see Gene's just on the outside of him there, doing a good job. These two are going to battle down the front straightaway once again here tonight. Great battle by Andrew and Jack Watts, and behind him, Mr. Jeans on the bottom as well. Watts sliding back, just back to 8th so far. And that's where we sit here, 10 of 135 complete. Watts back to 8th. Danielson in 9th right now. Danielson in the top 9 as well. Randy Arms has taken over that race lead from Mitchell Reeves, starting to pull away. And Randy's comeback season, man, he missed a couple of races, but he has been on fire, and it continues tonight here at Richmond International Raceway. Already 11 complete, and it's Randy Arms out front. Mitchell Reeves, the mellow yellow machine, in 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, Randy's definitely, created a large gap between him and Mitchell so far. I mean, you're looking at almost a second that Mitchell is behind Randy. So.
Alrighty, folks, here at Reeves in 2nd. Rob Haynes in 3rd at the moment.
Yeah, but might not be long for Haynes to be in that 3rd position because Merck is coming. He is not that far behind. Haynes. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before he ends up on the back bumper of him.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, and right now, Andrew Schultz back there in that '09 Patton there inside the top five. And some familiar names have rocketed their ways to the front, including Merck. You talked about him earlier, getting up there, Patton up there as well. And we're going to be 15 on the board this time by as the field exits turn number 4. Let's ride on board right quick with Scott Patton, working his way forward. The driver of the number 46 here. And right now, right now, on board there with Mr. Patton in 5th. Coming off of turn number 4. He's got a little ways to catch Jeffrey D. Mark up in front of him. I think he can definitely close in and get there, Richard. Battle right now between the cars up in front of Mitchell Reeves to Rob Haynes. That's the battle for second as they run right now. And folks, we're already almost 20 laps in to this one tonight here at Richmond for the Over the Top Designs Tuesday Night Throwback Series. Randy Arms, Mitchell Reeves, Rob Haynes leads the way here at Richmond.
Oh, you got Merck that's actually going to the inside of Rob Haynes to get that 3rd position. Looks like Mark got somewhat loose and ended up, well, I mean, now he's back in 3rd, but he ended up on the outside on the inside of Haynes for a minute, so I'm not sure what happened there. Another one that we haven't talked about yet, that's currently running in the 9th position is Ronald Klein. He actually moved his way up from 11th. Looks like most of the field is starting to get kind of spread out now. I mean, you've mainly just got, Randy has made his gap even larger on Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell is about 1.1 seconds behind Randy. And then the closest battles you really have are just Jeff Merck and Rob Haynes. And then everybody else is more spread out towards the back now. And to say that we're already 27 laps in, I mean, we haven't really had any intense battles so far on track to even get a caution thrown. So these guys are actually, doing well, keeping this race clean and green so far.
And Scott Patton up front at the Randy Arms up front, Mitchell Reeves in second. As we fight through, Randy leads the way at the moment. So what are you thinking, Rachel? You're talking about, everybody getting kind of spread out in their groove. How interesting is that for you to look at the strategy as we move forward here, almost with close to about 100 laps to go here in the very near future? Yeah, and you look at the situation. You look at the situation right here as everybody runs. Randy Arms up front with Darren Merck all in the top three. And tires, and we've said this before, right? Tires are a big deal. And then the guys would kind of come out and show us wrong and take two tires and kind of club the system a little bit. But I don't think tonight we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to see because, yeah, like you mentioned, some of them have kind of made us look bad a little bit whenever we're like, whenever we say that tires really matter, and then they might take two tires or something, some weird strategy that they pull. So
yeah, and you take a look at Scott Patton right now in the 46 at the moment, 199 on the top. Dropping back of Rob Haynes, the 09 coming through as well. Move Andrew Short to the 5th. And right now, I tell you what, car dropping back here is Rob Haynes at the moment.
so you got Andrew Schultz to the inside of Rob Haynes, trying to pass him for position. Yeah, and he clears him, so I mean, so he's good to go. And now he's definitely going after Scott Patton for that 4th position.
Yeah, right now, Randy, take a look at the battle. Patton 4th, Andrew Short in 5th right now. 37-1, 35 complete here from Richmond International Raceway as they work their way down the back straightaway. Rob Haynes there as well. Haynes right there, 37 on the board. Michael G, 7th. Judd Danielson in 8th. And folks, what do you say we do our first crank it up of the night here from Richmond Raceway? We'll be right back. back here with you at Richmond International Raceway as they work their way through 44 of 145 complete, and it's Randy Arms up front. And folks, we have gotten pretty spread out here in the Loose Lugnuts Tuesday night throwback series over the top designs, and I don't see them bunching back up here anytime soon there, Rachel. So spread out right now. Most
Right.
see, there's a couple of guys out there that's not, but for the most part, everybody's spread out away from.
Randy has definitely made the gap larger. Right now, Mitchell is about 1.7 seconds behind. Before that, before we went to crank it up, it was about 1.2 at that time. So Mitchell has fallen back a little bit more than what he was, prior to that. So, and then you also have Ray Richer. He is not on the lead lap anymore. He is one lap down.
Yeah, he is, but look right here, Scott Patton making a move on Merck. Now, you look at Patton and Merck right there, getting ready to go into turn one. Patton went to the top, dove to the bottom, he'll slide up. Merck will hold the momentum on the top side, but we're still going to be 48 of 135 complete here. And Patton's going to slide by Merck, moving Merck back. Andrew tries to get there as well, and it's going to be trouble. Yeah,
but he saved it. Mark was able to save it.
Mark did a great job there holding on to the race car. But he's going to drop back a spot. He'll drop to 5th here. 49 of 135 complete.
Luckily, Mark kind of has a little bit of a gap between him and Michael G. So that kind of saves him a little bit because he's not really having to battle somebody right after that incident.
Yeah, right now it's Randy Arms out in front. Arms leading 2.1.2 seconds up over Mitchell Reeves in second, with Scott Patton in third. 50 of 135 complete here tonight from Richmond International Raceway. And right here, if we look at the way this is going, what do you think? You think this thing's going to stay single file, kind of spread out and green to the end?
The way it's looking, I think so. I think these guys are mainly going to have to do green pit stops because unless there's some way that these guys can end up bunching up again together, but from what the times are looking like, it's not very likely.
Yeah, especially when you go green like this, you see flying 2 laps down in the night, falling away from flying here. Just came off a pit road. Got fresher tires. The guys up in front of him still have to pit, but we'll see how much he'll make back up when they do come down pit road. 53 of 135 complete. On the back, working his way through. Again, we're going to get stops out of the first 11. 11 cars have not pitted yet. Trent Drum back there being the last of them that have not stopped.
Yeah, I'm
Randy,
not sure when they're gonna pit. You would think that some of these guys probably would have pitted by now.
Yeah, you would think, but here's the thing though, if they can run a little bit further, well, when it cycles back through, they're going to be on a bit fresher tires than the guys that pitted earlier on, like Klein. So they're betting on running longer, and they're betting this thing's going to stay green. And they can take advantage on the new tires on the long run there, Rachel, instead of the short run the way they're doing it right now.
Right, yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to see whose strategy ends up working. But I mean, if these guys keep running the way that they're running right now, I don't really see a caution happening anytime soon. So, um, the thing is, the ones that hit it earlier, it might not have benefited them because they might have to pit again. When these other guys that waited might not need to.
Well, the guys that waited, they would have to go to at least lap 68-ish to make it work on one stop. The question is, can Randy Arms, can Wally, John, Wally, John, Brandon Thornhill, all these guys, can they go to 68 laps and make this a one-stop race here tonight?
That's kind of iffy. These guys are on 70% fuel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm over here at the calculator and it's not necessarily adding up.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think they could make it that far. Um, so yeah, the biggest thing would be fuel. I don't really. I mean, they have 3 sets of tires. That's the norm. But the biggest thing would be the fuel mileage, how far they can get on one tank.
Well, to make it work the way you were talking, exact math is not 68, it's 0.5. Oh, they're about 7.5 laps away, making that work. That could be huge for them, because remember, the other guys would have to go about 12 laps further than that. They would be upwards of 70 laps on this tank to make it work. And again, with a 70% fuel load, I don't even really see 67 possible, much less 70 something.
Yeah, I mean, and also it just depends on how much you can conserve, and it doesn't really look like a lot of these guys are conserving fuel too much, by the way that they're running. So yeah, I mean that'd be really hard for them to do. They wouldn't even really be able to race. I mean, they would be trying to conserve the whole time. So
We're race car drivers.
yeah,
What's this conserve you speak of?
exactly, for them to try and conserve. Yeah, that doesn't really happen. So yeah, I mean that would be pushing it, and the last thing they want is to run out of fuel, in the middle of a run. So.
Well, believe it or not, and we're looking to be about 3-4 laps away from them doing exactly what you talked about and making it a one-stop affair here tonight at Richmond.
Yeah, they're currently on lap 64, so I mean, you said around 67, 68, so yes, I mean, there's about 4 laps left. If they did conserve, which, I mean, that would be kind of hard, but if they were able to, and they're able to push it to 68, then yeah, I mean, they definitely could make it a 2-stop race.
Well, if they can, we're at 65 again, folks. We're at 65 here, and now we're going to start to see, I think, people diving down, Jeff Burt down, 2 laps shy. Or maybe can they go even further than that? Maybe Mert thinks he's in his fuel window. And that would be 69 laps on the next run. Now about 69.5 to be exact. That's a long run here at Richmond to end this one off.
Yeah, that is a long run. I'm not sure if they can go that long. I'm not sure, what their fuel window is, but that does seem like a lot of laps to go on one tank.
Yeah, it is, and Randy Arms up there in the best spot. He's got a 2.7 second lead. So he can conserve, and by the way, we're at that 67 number right now. How long can Randy Arms go on this tank of fuel? Because if he goes to lap 80 even, that tells me the guys that stopped the first time around, possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of, could make it work.
Now that's kind kind of iffy on what these guys are, planning strategy wise. We're gonna have to see, but I'm actually shocked that Randy still has not come down and he's already on lap 68. Um,
Yeah,
well, 69 now. And he still has not came down. So
Randy just out there running away with it right now, and we've got cars kind of sort of together back here. Got Pat right there in a third, right there behind the O2 and Mitchell Reeves. Those two racing for position for second at the moment, but they're 2.9 off your race. And folks, this race right here tonight, flying by at Richmond Motor Speedway here tonight for the over-the-top designs of loose Lugnuts Throwback Series. And again, if you need a car painted or anything like that for iRacing, even for the Daytona 24 coming up, contact John Hendricks on Facebook or look up over the top designs. And car makes the move, and that's Scott Patton second here tonight, Rachel.
yeah, and then you've got you've got Mitchell Reeves still staying pretty much on the back bumper of Scott, and then you also got
We got trouble and Reeves into the tire barrier. It was Wally into the back of him as Reeves tried to come to pit road, miscommunication, and that's going to take Mitchell Reeves back out of this event. Wow.
yeah, that was really unfortunate, and Mitchell is currently in the pits right now.
This could be huge. Look at the points gap coming into the night. It was 12 points. Reeves on pit road. Man, we'll get rid of the running order for just a second while we look at this. What could this do? This could be a big night. Somebody like an Andrew Schultz, who was 52 points back. Man, oh man, Reeves has got to be livid in that race car. Meanwhile, your race leader to pit road here tonight. Wow, Rachel.
Yeah, I definitely was not expecting that, but yeah, Randy just came to pit road, so I mean he came to pit road on lap 73. So I'm guessing they can go that long. We didn't realize that they could go, past 70 laps on one tank. So
I'm actually kind of shocked that got Patton now to pit. Andrew Schultz working lap 75. Wow, I honestly thought the fuel range here would be a lot shorter than that. But here tonight, it's going to be a one-stop affair if this thing goes green. And who that does not bode well for is your current points leader, Mitchell Reeves, had finally taken over the points lead away from Scott Patton. And here tonight at Richmond, he's going to watch that go up in smoke and flames as he got turned into the entrance of the pit wall there just a few laps ago off the bumper of Mr. Wally. Of course, Wally didn't do it intentionally, but hey, miscommunication, that's exactly.
and that's unfortunate, and unfortunately that puts Mitchell 2 laps down right now. So he's gonna have to try and make up that at least a lap. It might end up being kind of difficult for him to make up 2 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be next to impossible. And we may have an issue here on the 08. He's awful slow. You would think he's on his 77th lap of his run. He's got to be looking for pit road pretty soon. Here comes Klein by him right there. So I don't know what Jeans is gaining by staying out the extra 8-9 laps. He is well within his point, or his pit window here. We come to lap 79 of this affair tonight for the over-the-top designs. Loose Lugnuts Throwback Series, and I tell you what Jeans can do. Meanwhile, we got a bit of a battle. It's Hank Arms right there to back here. But Rachel, everybody still again spread out around the racetrack. We do not look like, unless something happens, I think we're gonna have ourselves a green flag race here tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. Gene's just coming to pit road right now.
So James to pit road. He'll surrender the lead to the 83 of Randy Arms. Back up front as we work through this one tonight at Richmond Motor Speed. Arms out front, Haynes in second, 3.622. That's the gap here from Richmond International Raceway. Don't forget here, folks, Randy Arms leads. It's Rob Haynes in second, Andrew Schulte in third. And right here, Rachel, on Extreme Sim TV, racing 7 days a week. I know you'll be back in the booth tomorrow night with Ronald. I'll be back in the booth tomorrow night as well with another league there. So we're always busy at the Extreme Sim TV. Make sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. To enjoy all kinds of racing action. Again, basically 7 days a week, all times of the day. Don't forget. Ronald right now in seventh. I feel kind of bad for it. Get hard. Be inside the top 10. Inside the top 10. But he's a little bit off. He's 21 seconds off your race leader. Along with Brandon Thornhill right in front of him.
Yeah, Randy's just pretty much up and left.
Problem there for Rachel, but yeah, like she was saying, Randy Arms pretty much up and left everybody here. He's in his own zip code. He must be using, I tell you what, if he's male, he's like the FedEx truck, man. He's just pulling away from everybody. Drew Schulte in second. Rob Haynes in third as we wait on our co-commentator to back here, having a little bit of a technical issue. Rob
Yes,
Haynes.
I'm back
Alright,
now.
she is back from the other side. Well, alright, like you were saying, Randy Arms is kind of picked up in the left.
Yeah.
Schulte.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's almost 5 seconds that he has put a gap, between him and Schulte. So, and I mean, as of right now, it's still pretty much staying at that same amount. And then the only other person would be Rob Haynes, but I mean, his gap is 8.4 seconds behind Randy. So, I mean, everybody else is in the double digits.
Yeah, this is like a whooping and a half there for Randy Arms up in front, just putting a whooping on the field. Also trying to do something, but nothing he can do at 4.49 back. Burke. Line. Top 7 here at Richmond. Folks, we're going to do one more crank it up here tonight, and when we come back, we'll be with you to the end here at Richmond Motor Speedway and the Over the Top Designs Tuesday night Throwback Series. All right, back again here at Richmond Raceway. Randy Arms going to lead. We head towards the final 45 or so laps left in. Arms out in front by about 3 seconds. Two. Delta, then 10 seconds off of him. See Scott Patton in third. Jeff Beamer 8 seconds back as well. Go ahead there, Rachel. Here's the Jeff.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, Schulte's kind of running into some lap traffic, so he's kind of trying to get through that. So now his gap is actually a little bit smaller now. It's like right at 4 seconds. For that, he was I think it was like 4.3. So I mean, he's made up a little bit of time.
But in the grand scheme of things, that little bit he's made up, it's not enough to get up there and get Randy Arms just late in. Right, you're gonna make up more. Last time by,
right,
he was about a tenth slower than Randy. Now that gap's starting to open back up, and that's the thing. You look at gaps and it works. Lap traffic gonna play a portion. We got car on the outside wall. Wally, I believe, that bounced it off the fence.
Yeah, that was Wally that hit the outside wall.
So he bounced it off the fence. He'll keep it rolling here. 96 complete. 135 tonight here from Richmond. Up in the arm. 4 seconds still, folks. You're not missing anything really throughout the field. The Klein actually coming under fire here from Judd Dangleson a little bit. Now that battle, they're both a lap down. That would be battle for the first lucky dog if we do somehow get a caution over the next laps here. This is your battle to determine who would get that lap back. And it's Ronald Klein and Judd Dangleson battling it out there.
Yeah, I mean, Judd's pretty much on the back bumper of Ronald, but Ronald's been able to he's starting to actually create a gap between the two. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's crazy here tonight, folks. The way this race is turning out, Ronald's starting to step back away. Oh, Judd's trying to make it up. Judd's just doing everything he can. He's diving to the bottom, trying to make up as much ground as possible for 99.
Right, and I mean, just to kind of give everybody like an overview of how big of a gap Randy Arms has. There's only 5 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, as we continue to watch this, a little bit of a battle between Klein, Dangleson, finally able to get by Klein there. Give Dangleson the lucky dog spot. If a caution were to come out in the next 35 laps, Dangleson up the hill. He's going to let Klein have it back off of turn 2.
Well, it looks like Danielson got a little bit loose. And then Ronald dropped to the inside of him and was able to take that position.
Yeah, he just went in there, sent it in there. The car got loose on him. Couldn't hold it down and went up the racetrack. That gave it back to Mr. Ronald Klein. So now Klein, quote unquote lucky dog car up in front. And right here, Judd Dangleson makes the pass. So Dangleson back to the lucky dog car. Right? Michael Jeans closing in on you as well. The best battle on the racetrack right now, folks, is these cars battling for the lucky dog position. And Jeans now into 7th as we continue to run here tonight, Rachel.
Yeah, but also I do want to mention, and I normally don't talk about him, but we take a look at who's in 5th, Brandon Thornhill. He's made a huge jump from 10th. He started in 10th, and he's moved his way up to 5th. And he hasn't been running in this series for very long. He's only ran a couple races so far.
All right, Rachel, what'd you do? What'd you put in that race car for him to do this tonight? We got it.
That I can say I had nothing to do with, but
I think we need to open an investigation on the co-broadcaster.
but yeah, no, he normally runs closer to the back, and to say that he's moved his way up to fifth tonight, he's definitely, making his way up there.
Well, it sounds like, well, I tell you what, he deserves something after this race. He needs to like go get some ice cream cake or something because he has put on a show. Get that car all the way up into the top five.
Yeah, but he also is about about 22 and a half seconds behind Randy. So unless some caution come out that would bunch them back up, I mean, you know, definitely not able to possibly make it up there, within the very top three. But I mean, it's still a good position for what he has, where he has been placing. So.
Definitely is. So congratulations to him inside the top five running here tonight. And folks, believe it or not, we're already 107 laps into this. We're coming down towards the very end here. And here tonight, story of the night, Randy Arms got up front, and he is just absolutely checked out on the.
Yeah, I mean, now the gap between him and Andrew Schulte, last time we had checked, it was about 4.2 seconds. Now it's 6.4 seconds. So, it's going to be extremely difficult for Andrew to catch up to Randy unless something happens to where Randy just starts getting a lot slower. Um, but I really don't see it. Unless he gets stuck in some lap traffic. But not sure how far up he has to go to be able to catch Ray Richard, the first one that he would end up lapping.
Right. Take a look at it. To touch on. Actually moved into sixth, putting himself the first car one lap down. If for some reason we do have a caution here tonight.
Right. Yeah, he would be the first one to possibly get the lucky dog if we do get a caution. But I have to say these guys have been done an excellent job of not having any caution at all so far tonight.
Really, the only mishap on track. Ooh, corning outside wall to say that, and that was actually good Danielson. I was possibly getting the outside. But the only real issue that we've had all night was, of course, points leader Mitchell Reeves getting tagged in the back bumper and turned around coming to pit road. Of course, that was Wally that got into him. Little miscommunication there as he was trying to come to pit road. And that is the only incident really on track all night long, and that didn't even bring out a caution. So we've been mean and green all the way through this.
Right. And the only other incident that happened was actually with Merck, but he was able to save it when he spun around, and so no caution came out from that. He was able to keep going. So besides that, we haven't really had any incidents on track besides those two.
Yeah, and everybody keeping it going with Randy Arms out in front here tonight, and right now 6 seconds, 6.6 the gap.
Right, and then you've also got Scott Patton in third, but he's about 10 seconds back. Then Jeff Merck in fourth, and he's 21.8 seconds back. And then in fifth is Brandon Thornhill with 23 seconds back.
Yeah, and that's going to be the interesting part here as this thing winds down tonight. 115 laps at a 135 complete. Folks, we're at the 20 to go marker. Pretty much here at night on Extreme Cinema TV. And I have to say, I kind of want to see a caution. I'd like to see this thing get mixed up here.
Right. I mean, right now it's pretty predictable, like who's gonna end up finishing in the top three. Um, yeah, a caution would make it interesting, but I'm sure these guys don't want a caution because they want to keep their positions and not have to fight for them. So.
Boo, we need cautions.
Especially Randy. I'm sure he doesn't want to have to uh fight to stay up there, in first. I'm sure he wants to keep, staying in first the rest of the way.
Well, folks, with 19 laps to go, Randy with a 7-second lead here. Now 18 to go, and you're watching Jeff Merck as they roll around. Nobody really close enough to put anybody right now, at least in the top 7.
Right. And when you go further back, I mean, there's still really nobody extremely close to each other. Everybody's really spread out when it comes to the lap cars. So, I mean, really, the only thing would be if there's some way that Brandon Thornhill could catch up to Jeff Merck. That would probably be the closest battle we would have.
Got one foreman here. Good dang on the back bumper of John there in the 01. Starting to kind of form up a little bit of a battle. Beat that 8th and 9th spot. But again, other than that, absolutely not everybody spread out here in this round at Richmond Motor Speedway tonight. And while we do this, I'm going to check the calendar, folks. We're going to see where we're going to be next week here on Extreme SMTV coverage of the Over the Top Designs of Loose Lugnuts, a throwback series. Rachel, get this big old calendar out and take a look at where we're going to go to after this one at Richmond tonight.
I think I know.
I think you know.
I think it's Talladega.
You are correct. Good job.
I thought so. I was like, I think I remember where they're going. Yeah, Talladega. Next Tuesday.
That should be a fun one. Then off to Dover on the 26th of January to round out the month of January here. Then we got Dover and Talladega coming up. 2 more interesting racetracks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say I'm definitely looking forward to Talladega.
Yeah, 220 plus in these cars at Talladega. That's going to be a blast.
Right. And I've never really seen these cars, like on a track like that. So I'm sure for these guys, it'll be fun, but it might also be kind of hard to drive them since, they're going to be at such a fast speed.
Yeah, and we've actually got a little bit of fun here shaping up between John Pensola, Ronald Klein, right there, as well as Judd Danielson. These 3 cars are starting to kind of get closer and closer together. We might have a 3-car battle at least 7th, 8th, and 9th coming down to the end of this one tonight with 10.
Yeah, they're probably the closest ones that we can see on track right now. Don and Judd are pretty close together right now. They did have the number 44 Ray Richard that was kind of in between them, but Judd got around him, and so now Judd's starting to catch up to John.
Yeah, and that's starting to kind of develop. But folks, we've only got 10 to go here tonight from Richmond International Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. We're down to the final 10 laps. Otherwise, about 3 minutes of racing if nothing happens. And it's Randy Arms up front by 8 seconds, folks, putting a waxing on the field here tonight at Richmond. He came to play. Trying to get him another win here tonight.
Yeah.
And you look at the points picture as we close in on the playoffs for this. And what does this mean as we head closer? Well, if Randy Arms can kind of pick it up and make himself into the playoffs, that would be an $1 million question. Quickly look at the point standings again here tonight. Look at his comeback with 7 to go. So I'll get rid of the running order for you. See how all this has played out. Night and let's take a look right now at these running orders, and you see all the way down there. Arms is 85 points out of the lead. He's made up a knot so far with 7 to go in this race. So I have to say he's done a good job, folks, of making a comeback. And right now, Yellow on the racetrack. Never mind all the points talk. Got ahead of myself. Yellow is out.
It was Jeff Merck that ended up into the wall, and the inside wall.
Jeffrey Merck. From here tonight. Take a look at it here. What happened here to Jeffrey D. Merck into turn number 1 to bring that caution out that Randy Arms did not want to see with 5 laps to go? And it was Merck going around and Arms squeaking through. Did a good job to avoid him. And that was the reason for the caution here.
Yeah, he just got extremely loose, and unfortunately he really had nowhere to go.
So let's take a look again here while we're under caution. What we were looking at earlier on. And you see the points now as I've got that out of the way for you. Mitchell Reeves up there with the lead. But it was Randy Arms all the way into the top 5 in points after missing a race. That is really what the story is here. 4 to go at Richmond. Randy Arms, man, 85 points out of the lead, but he's made a comeback all the way up through here. What a year for Randy Arms right now. Randy Arms, great job. Folks, we'll be right back for the restart as Merck hits the road. We'll be back for the restart at Richmond in a moment.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Randy's not happy about the fact that a caution came out this close to the end of the race, because I mean we are on lap 134.
It's going to be basically a green-white checkered finish, folks. And Scott Patton up front, Randy Arms in second, Randy dominating, leading 106 laps here tonight. Is now going to get back around Scott Patton for the win if he wants to get it done.
Yeah. This is definitely not what he would have wanted.
Basically a 2-lap dash to off here tonight, folks. So here we go. 2-lap dash. Who is going to get the win here tonight at Richmond? Will it be Arms? Will it be Patton? Will somebody else sneak through? Look at Brandon Thornhill officially scored CP4, officially quote unquote. And here we go. Green flag in the air. Scott Patton jumping out ahead of Randy Arms. Can he hold on over the next 3 laps? Shorter and Arms side by side. That is for second. Oh boy, Rachel, we're gonna have a 3-car battle off of 2.
Yeah, definitely. I think for Patton, it's not really working. I mean, you've got
Oh no! And around goes Arms as well.
Oh.
Patton and Randy Arms. Oh, Schulta involved. Merck, or the 01 of John Pansola, and the fastest car all night is going to be turned around out of turn number 4. You have got to be kidding.
Wow. So you got Scott Patton. Brandon Thornhill ended up moving up to second because of that.
We're going to have to go back and take a look. Now, Patton being scored your leader, but he broke pace. Rachel, he got turned around. Patton should not be your leader, I don't think. Look at it one more time. Patton is the started the incident. Patton got turned around. But due to Thornhill basically stopping to get by, there's a little bit of contact there with the 01. So it's going to be controversy again. And we've seen this a couple of weeks ago with a very weird scenario. But what happened there? Brandon Thornhill got contact on his way through. Let's slow down. Now Scott Patton is going to be scored your race lead. Now Patton's out front. Everybody watch again. Get rid of the running order for a second. Get rid of this running order where we can see clearly what happened here. Patton's out front. Now watch for the contact that's going to send the Patton around. Right about here. Oh, we may have went back a little bit too far, but we'll let it work itself. And we went back a little bit. Fast forward. Back again. We're going to go back again here. Sorry, folks. Misclick there on my behalf. So, Scott Patton gets turned off the bumper of looks like the 83, right? He comes down. Here comes the 09. They all get collected. They're going to go to the outside wall. Now watch for Thornhill. Coming through here, he's going to hit the brakes as they're all wrecking in front of him. He's going to squeeze it through, but he's going to get some contact points up here in just a moment. And Scott Patton got going quicker than Thornhill. Right here, as you see, he all but stops to avoid the wreck, and that's what Scott Patton to restart up front here. So that is the way to run out. Thornhill, Patton, your front row. Well, Rachel, you ready for a restart once again?
Yeah. This has definitely been an interesting race so far.
Yeah. To say the least, we're going to go to green here in just a moment. And we'll get ready to go. Lights off on the pace car here. So now, it's going to be the front row of Scott Patton, who got turned around. Going to be on old tires. Brandon Thornhill up there on fresher ones, I do believe. Thornhill with a chance at this one. Randy Arms back there, who has led every lap here tonight pretty much in fourth. And because of so many cars were a lap down, all the guys that were involved in that wreck, guess what? They're right back up at the front for the second restart here, Rachel.
Right. And,
wow.
Scott just got a massive run.
Yeah, and the Arms never went. I think he got caught sleeping. Here we go. Got Patton off a turn 2. Down the back straightaway.
and then you've got Rob Haynes, and then Brandon Thornhill. But Brandon Thornhill just gets right back in front of Haynes.
White
Off.
off at turn 4, white flag in the air here. Thornhill's going to have to pull something out here. He makes up a ton of ground in turn 1. Down the back straightaway, Rachel. It's going to be a showdown here at Richmond. Patton and Thornhill up front. Yep, just too much ground, not enough time. And Scott Patton won this race. Checkered flag is out for Patton. Thornhill to second. Haynes in third. Folks, we'll be right back for our interviews in a moment. Alrighty, folks, grab your interview here with the race winner, Scott Patton. He can. Randy Arms not even in the top 3. Disappointing. Let's grab Scott. Randy Arms, Matt, or Scott, you got a copy?
Get you, Matt. Yep.
Alrighty, man. Well, explain to me how in the world you squeaked this one out.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of stole that one, probably from Randy. He's probably a little bitter back there, but he was certainly the class of the field all night. I don't know. Those guys, I think, took 2 tires on that green flag stop. I thought about it because I won a couple races, I think, earlier in the season doing that strategy. I kind of had a feeling they would, so I honestly took the opposite strategy, so I'd have something a little bit different on them because I wasn't going to beat Randy by any means, heads up. But so I think they took 2 tires there, which when that yellow came out, gave me the option. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take 2 here, right? All we got to do is hold them off for a green-white checker. And then Mayhem kind of broke loose on that restart in turn 3. I think Randy got in the back of me. I turned around, did a 360, and then I'm looking at the start-finish line, just gassed it up, kept going, and kept the lead there, and held them off on the second green-white checker. So all around, happy to be up here again. And yeah, I feel bad for Randy and Mitchell and those guys that were up front all night.
Alrighty, well, Scott, you did a great job getting a win in a really weird finish here at Richmond, to say the least.
Very weird. Yeah, we'll take them though. I mean, the trophy's a trophy, right?
Well, anybody you'd like to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, certainly you guys at Extreme Sim TV. Did I get it right, Matt?
Yep.
I
Sure
got it
did.
written down in my notes. I don't screw it up.
Yeah,
No,
Max Extreme. You got it wrong.
And Stone River Outfitters, New England's finest fly tying shop up here. Check them out on Facebook, StoneRiverOutfitters.com. And I think that's all we got. Appreciate it, Matt. We'll catch you next week.
Hey, Scott, you racing the Saturday night deal too, don't you?
Saturday, yeah.
The Xfinity deal? Like one of the times that Josh interviews you, when you go up there, you got to say Max Extreme.
I did, honestly, I did it this past Saturday. I forget where we placed, but he interviewed me, and I did that exact same thing for you. On purpose for him. He was like, what? No, you. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's a joke with me and Matt. So
Yeah, I'll have to explain it to him one of these days.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. And thanks for everybody that puts on this league. It's a great place to race. I mean, having a race like that, 135 laps, pretty much 130 green flag with some awesome guys. So can't say enough about the league. John and Jeff and everybody that puts it on does an awesome job. So appreciate them.
10-4, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
Well, Rachel, this next interview is all yours. So bring him up here. Brando, you got a copy on me and Rachel?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing tonight?
Well, we're doing good.
So congratulations. I'm actually very shocked.
I appreciate all the faith. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm having mic issues. So, but yeah, no, I mean, to move from 10th to second is huge. So
Well, I appreciate that. I
good
felt like
job.
I had a good run.
All right. So who do you want to thank?
John Hedrick for sponsoring me, letting me on the team, and you guys for the broadcast. Everybody racing clean. Had a lot of fun. That's about it, I guess.
Well, congrats and enjoy the rest of your night. And I'm proud of you. I will say
Thank
that.
you.
I
Thank
will
you.
say that.
Alrighty, good job, Brando.
Appreciate it, man. All right.
By far the best interview.
It's kind of weird when you're having to interview your spouse.
Yeah, I would say so. That's why I done it. I had some fun with
I
it.
know.
All
But
right,
that's
let's
all
get
right.
Mr. Jeans up here. That was fun. Thanks for amusing me. Well, Mr. Jeans is actually not here.
Yeah, I don't see him. He must have left.
Well, unfortunately there, but Michael Jeans comes home third here. Scott Patton with the win. Brandon Thornhill second. All of the faith that added him there. Went home second. Michael Jeans third. Folks, when we come back out again, we'll be at Talladega, Alabama. What can happen when we get to Alabama? We'll find out on Extreme MTV. Until then, everyone stay safe. Have a great night, and we will see you in the next one. See you in Alabama.